Remember back in grade school, they made us do those book reports? We had to stand in front of a classroom and read our papers out loud. Fast forward several years, and you might have heard somebody deliver a keynote or a talk, and it may have sounded a little bit like those book reports. Maybe it sounded a little stilted, it didn't flow, it wasn't very conversational. One reason for that unnatural sound might be that the person delivering the keynote, they sat down at their computer and wrote it out like they were writing a paper. And they never, what I call, got it up on its feet. They never stood up, said those words out loud until they delivered the actual talk. Written language sounds different than spoken language. Written language has more formal rules and grammar and syntax that often doesn't translate well into spoken language. And conversely, when you're speaking, you've got your own rhythm, you've got your own dialect and your own idiom that you often don't put into your written communication. So if you're working on something that you know you're ultimately going to be saying out loud, to sound more natural and conversational, to sound more like you, I recommend a couple of methods to prepare. The first method, instead of sitting at your computer and writing it out like a paper, stand up, say the words out loud, and find the right language. And be sure to record yourself, and then transcribe what you heard. Method number 2 is a more iterative process. It's what I do. So I will get up on my feet, start saying the words out loud, work through a section. And when it sounds right, I really go by my ear. Does it sound natural? Does it sound like me, like words that would actually come out of my mouth? Then I'll sit down at the computer, write it out, but then I'll stand up again, read out loud what I've written, and just keep smoothing it over like that until it sounds very natural, sounds very much like me. Now, I know you guys are busy. Sometimes you don't have time to write that keynote until you're on the flight to the engagement. Trust me, I've been there. So if that's the case, go ahead and write it out in your computer like you normally would. But then risk being that weird person on the plane and whisper the words out loud. Trust me, people are not looking at you as much as you think they are. And if you don't even have time for that, half an hour before your engagement, read it out loud and flag those sections that sound a little unnatural. And see if you can add some contractions, add some more informal language so that it sounds more like a conversation and less like a presentation. Good luck with that keynote. If you need some support, please don't hesitate to reach out. You know where to find me. As usual, it's a pleasure. Until next time, be well.